Welcome back to the Daily Edition. Every week, one woman is killed because of an act of domestic violence. Kay Schubach was lucky to survive an abusive partner. Meeting a seemingly charming man in 2005, she was sucked into a violent relationship and almost died trying to escape. And Kay Schubach joins us now. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Take us back to This Perfect Stranger, which is also the name of your book. What happened?
Well, it was 10 years ago now, and I was actually desperate for a baby, and I think that was my vulnerability at the time. But Simon walked into my life, and he was this charismatic, powerful, really popular man, and of course it was too good to be true. We got involved very, very quickly, and then also very quickly it just turned into a nightmare. And within 2 months, I was actually seeking police protection. So it unravelled very, very fast as well.
And how difficult was it for you to get police protection at the time?
Look, the police were great when I did go to them, but the problem was my own reluctance to go, I guess, because I didn't really understand what was going on. I'd never really been in a situation at all. It wasn't in my upbringing. I didn't understand. We didn't even have the terminology for domestic violence. And my girlfriend said to me, I think you've got battered wife syndrome or something. And, you know, it wasn't until... And I was very isolated as well. That was his MO. You know, there's a really classic pattern of what some abusive guys do, separate you from your family and friends. So you kind of have no one to talk to, no one to really, you know, grab you and shake some sense into you or make you see what's really happening.
One of the things people often say is, why doesn't she just walk away?
Yeah.
Explain why that's so hard.
It's really hard. I mean, it's your primary relationship for a start. It's the fabric of your life, you know. You've invested so much. Even in my case, it was such a short time, but we'd moved in together, he was on my lease, he had the keys to my car, the keys to the house. So that was a big thing about when I did go to the police. Like, a piece of paper was just, what was it going to do? You know, I still had to go home, he still had the keys. I didn't quite understand what that was like. But if you've got children, if you've got finances wrapped up together, and there's also a lot of pressure to maintain the status quo, and especially if your marriage is like, you know, if you're from a good suburb and there's a lot of people watching you, it's really hard to admit that it's gone wrong.
That's the stigma around domestic violence, isn't it? A lot of people just assume that it happens in lower socio-economic communities, but it's not the case, right?
It's just so pervasive. We really have to, you know, I don't want to sound evangelistic about it, but we have to bring this out of the dark, and we have to say it happens behind closed doors in every suburb, in every demographic, in every age group, every religion. It's 1 in 3 women have been affected by violence.
That was something that Rosie Batty, Australian of the Year, was very big to say early on. This is happening everywhere. It is amazing what has happened to our awareness of domestic violence in the last couple of years. You must have seen that.
There's a huge groundswell, and it's fantastic, you know, but I think there's some problems with that too, because I think men are feeling very uncomfortable that women are beginning to speak up and stand up for themselves, and I think we've seen that evidenced in the increase in murders this year. But when my book was released in 2012, we weren't talking about it at all. It was really hard to get some of the big women's magazines to even cover it. They said, too negative, I'm sorry. And now we've got Australian of the Year, we've got the politicians actually using it in their election campaigns. You know, I just hope that they're genuine.
We've got to keep pushing.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Kate, thanks so much for sharing your story with us, and we might even throw your details of your book up on our Facebook page so people can check it out.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for your time.